Yeah. What is up? What is happening? Welcome to another episode of Respect the Court. And ladies and gentlemen, you have it. There it is. The conclusion of the 2024-2025 NBA season with the new NBA champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Fantastic series. An incredible game 7. Uh, although a bit marred with injury, which was absolutely unfortunate. And honestly, as much as I want to celebrate OKC, the big topic will really be about just injuries and what are we doing as trainers. Not that I'm a trainer, that we're not protecting the athletes. But of course, before we get into that, I'm going to continue giving praise and the much deserved adulation to OKC. Like they came out and played a solid game. Uh, they held their poise. They showed championship pedigree by not letting the moment get too big for them and shrinking under the bright lights of a game 7, because game 7s are historically very low scoring, and at that point both teams are exhausted mentally, physically, and you never know what's going to happen. And at that point, it just comes down to grit. It comes down to who's really going to go out there and give it their all. And we saw the result of that. So, once again, a huge congratulations to OKC. The youngest team to ever win an NBA championship, with the second youngest team being the Portland Trailblazers that had Bill Walton, and I believe that their average age was 25.7 years. I think with OKC it's 25.1. So absolutely incredible. SGA undoubtedly deserves the MVP. Solid performance, and something that I've been waiting from him for this entire series was to at least get 5 to 6 assists. It finally happened. Finally. And he ended up with 12 assists. Really getting out there and moving the ball around. Of course, he's going to do what he does. He's going to get to the basket. He's going to dance around a little bit, get to his spots, create those angles to get him the best opportunity to score. But we all know this is a team sport. This is a team sport. And you can't do it all by yourself. You have to have contributions from other team members. And they did a fantastic job. From Alex Caruso, like Holmgren had a fantastic game. Jalen Williams, OKC deserved to win this. And this has been something in the making, considering last season that they also were the number 1 seed, but they just weren't ready to take that final step to get over the hump and become champions. So, incredible journey. It was fun to see that develop right before our eyes, and they should take this moment to really soak it in and enjoy, because the hard work and dedication that it took this team for the last 3 to 4 years to put this together was incredible. And there are several takeaways from this. Several takeaways from a owner perspective, from a manager perspective, and from a player perspective. There's just so many ways that you can look at this and break it down. And for me, most of all, is there were no shortcuts. No shortcuts whatsoever. Like, at some point, teams need to just understand, and not teams, general managers and owners, that this win now attitude, it rarely works. At least with the evolving of the NBA and the evolving with players moving left and right, contracts getting bigger and bigger. Um, some players who you think are franchise players end up going somewhere else. It's completely unexpected, but it comes down to building a solid team and letting the chips fall and let it build and let it develop. It's like soup, like good high quality soup. You gotta let it simmer. You can't take shortcuts in making soup. You gotta let it simmer. All the ingredients have to meld together. They have to form together, and they have to come up with the right flavor to present at the dinner table, so you can go ahead and eat. And it disappoints me that the Rockets went ahead with this trade. They're calling it a blockbuster trade. How is it a blockbuster trade? Explain that to me. How is this blockbuster? Like, this doesn't move the needle. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. Sticking to OKC and the Indiana Pacers. And once again, OKC, fantastic job. On the other side, the Indiana Pacers have nothing to hang their heads about. This was a great series. And quite honestly, they could have won this series. Few unfortunate missteps here and there, but they were right there to the very end. They were right there. Um, you can't ask for anything more. Like, this team showed resolve. This team showed energy. This team showed that this wasn't just luck. Because if this was just luck, if once they got to the NBA Finals, they would have been swept, or at least given a gentleman's sweep. That was not the case whatsoever. Went into OKC, beat them in game one, beat them again in game three. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Showed their grit and grime and their rebounding in game six with a hurt Tyrese Halliburton, who I believe shouldn't have played. But if he doesn't play, maybe OKC wins in six instead of seven. But who knows? It's all going to be what ifs at this point. But I really want to focus in on the unfortunate injury and the amount of pressure we put on players to get on the court. Is it warranted? In some respects, yeah. You're making millions upon millions of dollars a year. Especially if you are the man, if you are the guy, if you are the franchise player, the one who's making more money than everybody else. Yeah, there is a level of responsibility that comes along with that. Everyone's looking to you to show leadership. Everyone's looking to you to set the tone. Everyone's looking at you to understand what's our play style going to be. Are we going to stick to that? Everyone's looking to you to see how your relationship with the head coach is going to be. Is your relationship above everyone else's, or does the franchise player, does the top player say, no, coach, you treat me like everybody else on this team? It makes a difference. But my problem is we put so much responsibility, so much onus on players to get out there knowing they're hurt, knowing they're injured, to the point that we disregard health. Like, let's be honest. The man hurt his calf in game 5. Tried to play on it. Didn't really work out. Left the game. Reports say that he had a strained calf muscle. Okay. All right. Cool. Not cool, but cool. We get that. If anything, that should probably limit him for game 6. And by limit, I mean this guy probably shouldn't play more than 10, 15 minutes. We're talking about a calf strain. Like, I don't know about you, but if you strain your calf muscle, it's difficult to walk on it, to put any kind of significant weight on it. It's, it's a muscle that is connected to your lower leg for you to, walk, run, jump, pivot, push off of. And now we're saying there's a strain. So we know that there are some torn muscles somewhere in that calf muscle. So now we say, as a medical staff, knowing that you want your top guy out there, what do we do? Do we say, hey, he's clear? We're just going to go ahead and inject you with some painkillers? Go out there and win this for us, which is what happened in Game 6. But in the end, after seeing that man crumple up on the floor like that, I sit there and say to myself, are we really putting the best interest of the athletes first when it comes to health and injury prevention? Sometimes I say no. Iguodala at one point said that he played with a fractured leg. What? Fractured leg? Like, bro, what are you doing out there? We as fans, we don't know. We don't know how injured some of these guys are. There were reports that Kobe Bryant had a dislocated shoulder. Okay. Guy was known for his toughness, popped it back in, was able to go out there and still play. That wasn't the case with Kevin Love when he dislocated his shoulder. Everyone's tolerance for pain is different. Dislocated finger, most people can work through that. Sprained knee, I'm pretty sure that's a no-go. Sprained ankle, most likely that's a no-go, except for when Isaiah Thomas did it in the 1988 NBA Finals against the Lakers for Game 6. Man's playing on one leg, putting on a show to beat the Lakers in that game. But there's downsides to this, horrific downsides to this. Isaiah Thomas, he couldn't play in the next game. His ankle was completely shot. Couldn't win the series. I mean, Kevin Durant, the minute I saw Tyrese go down, it just gave me flashbacks to 2019. I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, no. Kevin Durant had a calf strain. There was no reason he should have played. No reason he should have played in Game 5. You knew that. The staff knew that. But they tried to persuade us, like, yo, man, if you think you can go, go. I'm pretty sure they said the same thing with Tyrese. If you think you can go, go, man. We're there for you. You're going to be a warrior. You're going to be a soldier out there on the court. Yet now we put this man's season on the line. And that's exactly what happened. Now he's going to be out for an entire season. And who knows how that's going to affect him in the next 1 to 2 years. I mean, he may make a great comeback like KD did. But we all know once you have that ACL tear, you're not quite the same. You don't have that push. Now, luckily, he's young. So we'll see. Same thing with Jason Tatum. He's young, but we'll see. For me, what is the point of medical trainers and staff if they don't speak out and say, wait, this is not going to work? Or at least give the option. Lay it out there on the table and say, look, you can play, but there's a high chance that you are going to tear your ACL. I think anyone given the proper diagnosis, given the full facts of a condition, would think otherwise. Maybe Tyrese would have said, let me at least try for 5 minutes. Let me just try. And then at some point, pull me out. I want to be there for my guys, but I don't want to risk losing an entire season because of this. What good am I if I'm on the ground injured? Why isn't the medical staff saying things like this to these players? Give them all of the information. He's out there thinking, I can walk, I can play. That's no, man. You got a calf injury. You got a calf injury that was borderline an Achilles injury. And they said it was okay for you to go ahead and play in a Game 6. What? Like, we got to stop playing. We got to stop playing with athletes' health like this. Calf strains are no joke. If it's a calf strain, let it heal. That leg should have been wrapped up. That leg should have been iced. If he wanted to play Game 7, I'd give him a little bit of a chance, but to put him out there like that, unprotected, just seems irresponsible. It just seems wrong, and the risk was too much. And so, my hat goes off to the Pacers for an incredible season. I hope whatever happens later with Tyrese, it's a quick recovery, fast recovery, because he deserves better than that. No one deserves to go out in a game 7 like that. That's horrible. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. Congrats once again to OKC. Bright future ahead. I'm here for it. This is great for the NBA. New blood on top. Promote this. Put it out there. This is what we need to see. All right, that's it for today. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.